60K student loan debt. Flash 2 years later, flip life, paid off the student debt.
Kevin, you with the couch flipping. I started 2 years ago. Our first month we made 10K.
Let's go! We'll go to the south of France, spend a week out there. I like it. Oh, yeah, we're there.
Cheers, buddy.
Wow. I went on 6 dates in the same area for one night, and I only got caught once.
No.
Whoa!
I think you got ripped off. I know you made money.
I got his movie.
Well, your wife's too hot.
What's your Dunkin' Donuts order?
It's a large iced caramel swirl, regular.
One more. What was it? Question is, how do you stop caring about what other people think? You're gonna die, which sounds sharp.
Morbid.
Your haters will also die. And then you basically have 1, maybe 2 generations behind you that'll even know you exist. And I'll give you the perfect case study. Tell me about your father's 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 life. Tell me his first name.
Yeah.
I don't even know my father's 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 first name. Right?
Yeah.
Can you name your father's father's first name?
If I had to guess, probably Michael, but no.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, what did he like to do? What was he like?
Yeah, I have
Where
no
did he
idea.
work?
Yeah.
I'll take even a vowel. That might have been his name. That's how little we know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like to go through your whole life worrying about what other people think when ultimately,
Yeah.
everybody gonna be dead. You might as well do something you want to do
Yeah.
out there. I heard that quote forever ago driving. I had to pull over and like write that down.
Yeah.
It really fucked me up. I
You
was like,
always do that. I think mine is like if someone's going to care more about your life than their own, like that's a them issue, not a you issue.
Totally.
Like there was a sound I heard on TikTok and it was supposed to be about like living your like best life. But when was the last time you saw a random person at a beach and you're like, oof, their belly's hanging out over their pants and you're still thinking about it to this day?
Right.
No, maybe you said
Right.
something like in the moment, maybe you noticed some negative things in a
Totally.
moment of any situation, but are you still thinking about it to this day? No.
Right.
So like, I think that's one of the things too. And like, if someone is still thinking about it years later, like you're a bit obsessive. Do you want an autograph? Like what can we do about this? That's a them problem, not a you problem.
Yes. I like that.
So that helps me.
Yeah. I like that a
Not
lot.
the death thing. You know how I feel about that.
Yeah, here's a good one. What's your opinions on shared versus separate bank accounts?
Ooh, so we talk about this often. I mean, it depends on like what you guys decide is going to be your layout, of course. Like, are you both working? Do you both bring in equal money? Do you both have like careers versus like, are you both working to stay just at whatever the minimum bare meat, whatever that sentence is.
Minimum bare meat.
You know what I mean? Breathing level. I think that we've seen like lots of different families and lots of different ways that people do things. And what works for us is that we have our separate bank accounts, but then we have the one joint bank account. And that goes towards, we each put in a certain amount to this bank account. I put in 0, you put in everything. And that's like, because I've heard people say like they have an allowance and I'm like, that's not like
crazy.
Yeah, like your husband is not your boss or something.
Right.
Like you're like, well, maybe mine. Yeah. But like, I think that's what works for us and that's what makes it. You also need to like, you and I have had so many financial conversations, like tough conversations with me being in so much debt that now I feel good and honest and not like embarrassed or nervous to come to you and be like, hey, like this month I'm struggling or something.
Yeah.
Like I'm not carelessly spending or like, maybe I did shop a little bit and I shouldn't have, but hey, it is what it is. Like I don't have to hide it from you anymore.
Right.
I think having completely separate bank accounts, like that's not even a partnership. But if it's what works for you, it's not my life. I don't care.
100%.
But you need to be able to have at least the conversations. I mean, it goes vice versa where there's guys who sometimes like gamble and spend so much money too, and the girl's like, what the fuck?
Right. Yeah, they've known.
So you just need to, I think, as long as you're having open conversation. But I really like the way you and I have set it up. And I think like you and I understand our roles too and how they're equal, even though they might look different.
Great answer. To sum up what my wife said. Sum it up. This is what works for us. This is just what works for my wife and I. Might not work for you, but it works great for us. We have 2 separate business bank accounts. Ashley D'Amato Cooney LLC, Kevin Cooney LLC, and then we have a third bank account that's like this equal shared fund, if you will. Yeah, call it the Coonies, You can pull anything you want from that. That can go, it's like the fun account, Anything fun you want to do comes from there. But that way, it's not an allowance. It's not like,
yeah, that sounds so.
And you and I have just such, call it old school roles. I thoroughly love being the bill payer, as weird as that sounds. You know, like
if I had to be the one to pay the bills, they would never be paid.
See, yeah, and that would be, I sleep well at night knowing our electricity is never going to shut off, you know. But then you being the CHO of our household, Chief Heart Officer, who literally turns the house into a home, and which sounds so cliche, but then this one's right under there. We've talked about this before, but it is, how do you guys decide on your finances? Who handles what in the relationship?
Right, I'm not eating a donut. By the way, thanks for buying this for me.
Did I buy that for you?
Well, I loaded my Dunks card with your credit card, so yeah. I just thought it'd be good for my finances.
Your Dunks credit card is you loaded my Dunks credit card onto your Dunks account.
Because with Amex, you get points back, so I'm giving you points back.
My Amex.
You get points back. You're welcome.
This is how we divvy up finances, gang, for better or for worse. So take this with a grain of salt. This is what works for us. And works in air quotes because we're still working on it. How is the TTC journey going emotionally? Praying for y'all.
Oh, you know what TTC stands for?
What does TTC stand for?
Trying to conceive.
Ooh, right.
Yeah.
Banging with a purpose, I call it.
Right.
Banging with a purpose.
BWP.
BWP.
We should start saying that, BWP.
You've heard of TTC. How about BWP? Banging with a purpose.
We're going to start doing that. That was good. Emotionally, I think we've been pretty good. I get to talk to you, which is good. I feel like you've been really understanding of like how mentally it feels a little different for me. I think the toughest point is what we call like the luteal phase after ovulation, before you get your cycle, like before your cycle begins. I think that's been emotional because like you're just waiting, and that's when I'm like the most bloated and the most emotional. But thank you. We're good. We talk about it. We're patient.
Do you get stressed at all? I didn't know ladies will only be in heat for like 7 seconds out of every month. It's like 4 or 5 days that you're like even eligible to get pregnant.
Eligible.
Which is wild.
Yeah.
How are you feeling emotionally? Like, when you are in heat and then you find out the next month you're not preggers, are you like, how do you balance that?
I think just trying to like, I keep reminding myself, like, I know I can go talk to you, which like really helps. But I think just trying to like remind myself, like, you know, you and I pray every night. We know it's going to happen. I think the biggest thing is like, you know, I'm so type A, and this is something that I have so many friends who don't even have endometriosis or PCOS or any issues, and it's taking them a long time. So I think it's just like so hard to like not know what's going on. Like you can't plan it, you don't know. Right. And then it stinks too, because the day you get your period, it's like, there's nothing I can do about this now. We can't start trying tomorrow. You have to wait until I ovulate on like cycle day 18. So it's 18 days before we even get like another chance. Right. So like, you know.
Right.
It's a lot of mathematics that goes into it.
It is. A lot of math. You know, a lot of math. BWP. So, yeah. I think we're onto something there. Here is how dumb I am.
Okay.
I know next to nothing.
Okay.
Seriously.
Yeah.
So she was like, for those that are wondering, Ash, you are how far along now?
13 and a half weeks.
13 and a half weeks. So in Ashley's first trimester, it was horrible. She was like, passing out everywhere, which we'll tell those stories in just a bit. First trimester, she's passing out, and then we're at the doctor's office, and the doctor's like, yeah, first trimester is going to be hard, and then the third trimester is going to be like a little crazy too. This is how dumb I am. My dumbass with a straight face to a doctor goes, I know you said first trimester is bad, third is bad. How bad is the fourth? And they're like,
I'm pretty sure the doctor turned around to him and was like,
this is your man's. This is your man's.
No, they made you feel good about it, though. Like, they were saying, like, well, fourth is when you physically have the child, so you're going to be exhausted too, Dad.
They broke down the Latin of that. Try, meaning they basically put on Cocomelon. They were like, Cocomelon. Try means three in Latin. You dumb boy. And I was like, okay, I see. So it's like hockey. We're just working with the periods. There's 3 periods. Shoot, you score, goal.
Right. Not like quarters, and then we have to figure it out.
So for the men out there listening, there's 3 trimesters. 3 trimesters. Listen to me, fucking up again. There's trimesters. 3 of them. You're almost in your second.
Yeah, just about.
And there's only gonna be 1 more period, commercial break, and then boom, baby will be out.